Hey, you guys, this is your Goddess Chaotic. And when I'm without my lines right now. So, anyways, I'll just, scroll on the gram or whatnot. And first, I just want to start this by stating that we don't have to necessarily agree with each and everything that is stated by one another. It's okay to have varying views and yet still agree with a conversation being put out there overall in the first place. It's good to have discussions. That's number one. Number two is, yeah, I'm going to offend you at one point or another. So, like, just understand that, okay? Because when you're trying to put the truth out there, you can't keep worrying about putting like, I don't know, being too politically correct because sometimes you just have to say what you have to say. But yeah, please subscribe to my Patreon and my YouTube and stuff like that. But let's get into what Eboni K Williams said. Again, I understand that certain people are on a certain level of awareness. It doesn't matter your level of education. If you don't know certain things in certain areas, education is just but one part of who you are, by the way. But anyways, so this is kind of like the mentality that you may get when you don't have all of the facts to a particular topic. But let's go ahead and give it a listen because you shouldn't shut out anybody's message because you can always learn something from anybody, especially if you're in tune and are, you know, you don't mind listening to hear what people are really trying to say. But let's go ahead and give Ebony a listen as far as degrees and the Mrs. degrees and stuff like that.
Is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of
Let me start it over.
needs to be is that
Hold
as
on,
Black
hold on.
the reality that needs to be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for Black women. Mhm. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades. The reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger Black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college educated Black men is so low when compared to Black college educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on
No.
most campuses, there's like 7 Black women students for every 1 Black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young Black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because a handful of Black college age men that actually do desire to get married soon and they do share that value system and family is a priority for them too. Y'all, that is an incredibly small pool and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Okay, so I don't disagree completely with all of what Ebony had to say. Quite frankly, I appreciate her, sharing her point of view, her perspective from the experiences she's had in life and where she's at. Me, these are the quick things I got from that message, besides the portions that I agreed with. It was slight fear-mongering, just a little bit, a tad bit, yeah, just a little bit, even if it was unintentional. Um, Number 2, it felt like, I don't know, maybe a lack mindset, a lack mentality, and we do not live in that mentality anymore. So I again appreciate 2 things that I appreciate about her message. again, was her sharing her experience and why maybe she's thinking from that point of view. Okay. I also appreciate her stating that, yes, we should inform our young women at an earlier age of how, this may affect their choices as far as school and things of that nature and selecting a partner. Absolutely. I'm a partner selection coach. Okay. But again, one thing I did not particularly agree with was the fear mongering, but I said that. So is that you have to kind of understand some foundational things, meaning that it's no pool that's threatened because when first of all, we will not be selecting from the same pool because guess what? A foundational thing is that to just bring back to the forefront of your mind is that we're all different. So our partners will look inherently different. Everyone does not want the same qualities in a partner, nor do they aspire for the same exact looking features in a partner. You see what I'm saying? So everyone has their different tastes and different qualities. On one of my last videos, I mentioned that everyone has a different level of morality and the way they rank what is, morally superior to another quality. You see what I'm saying? So that goes the same for partner selection. So again, being a partner selection coach and awareness coach, Pick Me Awareness Rehab Recovery Center founder, creator, owner, is that yeah, you first of all, you can definitely write to me if you have partner selection questions in general. But yeah, you have to kind of know that you have to know yourself so that you can know once you know yourself, you then know the partner that's best suited for you. That's number one. Okay. But again, there is no shortening of the pool or whatever. Don't limit your mind in that manner. Who says we all want a partner that looks, exactly like us. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, I kind of have to speak in code because, again, I'm trying right now not to offend. Okay. But as time goes on, I'm going to speak out even more with my chest and just start you know what I'm saying? Speaking just more flat out and direct because as a Virgo, that's just how I am. But right now, I'm at least, I'm trying to be a good girl. But yes, so we're not picking from the same pool. Don't limit your mindset like that, okay? We're all different. And number two, we should not be picking from well, number 3 as far as what I did not quite agree with Ebony about was it well, not that I did not agree, but what kind of stood out to me was that it would be more work on the woman. So we're gonna put more stress on ourselves while we're already in school. Like, no. But I mean, I understand where she's coming from, you know what I'm saying? But to try to balance school and dating the right type of person because we have to get into that, but just enjoy your young life, live your life the way you want to live it and then let's say after about 22, 23, maybe if you really want to start a family, then go through those phases first, really live your life so you don't really have any regrets later. You can say, oh, I did that or I lived that or it wasn't too much in the back of my mind because I've experienced something that's similar, so you're not wilding at a later time, you know what I'm saying? Okay, or regretting things that, oh, that might be a little bit more difficult when it's a bit later on in life. You see what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't say make that be the focus, but you can definitely have, your partner selection in mind at that point. But again, going back to the pool of selection, again, we're all different, so our partners also will look all very different. But one thing that they should have in common is there should definitely be an age gap. So therefore, we wouldn't be picking from the same pool because we're, all different ages, even, you know what I'm saying? And everyone has like varying ages. So therefore, if we're picking different partners at an appropriate age gap, so I would state ideally eight 8 years apart and more, you know what I'm saying? For something that might have a chance of surviving. 5 is the slight it's like you're cutting it close, like 5-year age difference or a 5-year age gap between you and your partner, male, yeah, he should masculine should definitely be older because this can go for LGBTQ, IA plus couples as well. There's always going to be a more masculine and more feminine one. Mr. BB, please. There's always going to be a more masculine and more feminine partner. And even if maybe they switch from time to time, when it comes to the universal laws, I wouldn't encourage that, but hey, it is what it is. So there should definitely be like at least a 5-year age gap just on the basis, But more important than that is that the partner should definitely be a provider mindset, meaning he takes care of all of the bills and doesn't stress you out about 50-50. You're not going to bed every night with someone you have to pay once a month as a woman. Because guess what? As a wife, not a partner in this case, as a wife or as a partner, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, to not offend the LGBT, but as a married spouse, that's of the feminine aspect, you should not be, you know, going 50-50 with your partner. But if you do, that's up to you. No harm, no foul. But this may not be the channel or um the person. I might not be the person for you because I'm definitely not one of those. Okay. But yeah, so if you're a wife or the feminine aspect of a married spouse, you should definitely not be splitting the bills 50-50 with your partner. They should want to take care of you. And the way there's not really an incentive for someone that's around your same age to do that because they'll just look at you as like basically like a brother or a sister, like the same age. They don't have to take care of you. But because in the long run, when you're married to someone, it's gonna become a more familial relationship. So if someone is closer to your same age, it will be more like a sibling dynamic versus if there's like at least a 5 age gap between the partners and the male or masculine aspect of the partners being the older one, so that'll give them a head start to really be able to impress the woman, because that's what they have to do. And the older partner will understand that, whereas the younger partner will continue to compare himself to you, and or vice versa. It happens. Okay, one might get tired of the other, one may outgrow the other, but if the gap is fairly large, so 5-year age gap plus ideal, but the best ideal would be about 10 to 15 years and older. That person would have had a 10 to 15-year at least age gap to really have, jump started being successful and earning money and being able to provide for a partner. So a lot of men don't understand that that is literally their role because women do everything else. So their role is literally to provide the money to fund what the woman has to do. But a lot of them don't understand that. And by the time they get it, they're already older. So that's why women don't select potential, select the ones that are already with the mentality. So you're not wasting your time. And at the end of the day, you would have gotten all that young, wild, and free type of energy. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, out, because you didn't rush and, was looking to be married, before the age of 25. You know what I'm saying? So you can really know yourself and know what you want. But yeah, so I just wanted to speak on that. So it's not that I disagree with Ebony's message completely, no, because it's coming from her perspective. That's why you always have to know the source that your information is coming from. And there's a lot more I have to say about this, but I want you guys to get to know me. And if I keep doing the long ones, I don't know if you all will really, you know, listen to the end or at least listen to kind of get my personality and perspective on things, or at least my objective type of kind of sort of point of view, kind of trying to balance what the positives and the negatives, or the positives, or maybe the not so positives of the message that was given. But for the most part, I'm glad she opened up and shared her message from her perspective, because there are plenty of women that share the same perspective as Ebony. Also, yeah, when you share your message, it's very empowering. But again, it kind of puts added pressure on the women, on the young ladies, and but it does give them It's really great for them to be able to be aware of these things early so that they can incorporate it into their, decision making and plans for their future. So that's definitely a plus. But again, we're not going to be in the same pool of people. Okay. So let's not fearmonger because that kind of says, oh, everyone's looking for those particular type of men when in all actuality, at this point, no, people are looking for different things and appreciate different. Oh my God, okay. There were some things I want to touch on as well. I'll perceive dwindling fertility. Oh, thank goodness for science nowadays and in vitro and IVF and all sorts of things like that. But not maybe not everyone wants to go through that. But sometimes some women think ahead, especially if they know that that's what they want. They will try and find a way to maybe freeze their eggs and things of that nature, if that's even what they want. Because now there is a population of child-free people that are, happy being so, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different factors to take into consideration. And also, I think she said, yeah, she stated that men get more black men specifically, she said, get more attractive as the years go by. But if they're dusty and they don't take care of themselves, that's not always the case. And typically, and then she stated that our age starts to get at us or what have you. Yeah, a lot of especially black women, we just get sweeter with time, especially if you take care of yourselves, especially if you do not deal with the dusty men. Because guess what? Those are the ones that typically tend to bring your health down, to affect your nervous system, to make you have like just not the best time. You know what I'm saying? And may add to your stress. Okay. And therefore may kind of reduce, you know, your livelihood. Okay, so it gets deeper. But yeah, so I don't know if her stats are so accurate because there are definitely a lot of melanated men that are, in those nursing homes by themselves, not getting visits and things of that nature. That let's say if they're no longer with a woman, their health takes a crucial deep dive, you know what I'm saying? So let's not do that, okay? Let's look at all of the statistics. Let's not put any kind of fear in these young ladies, okay? And let's make sure that we know, the full story, um, or at least we're getting the source of our information, okay? And just continue loving yourself and do not have a lack mentality and make sure you do your research so you know what all is available to you. You are worth it. There is no limited pool. It's only a matter of the right timing and you doing what you have to do to make sure you always present as your best self, okay? When you step out that door during the days that you have the energy to do so. Because guess what? Everything should be revolved around you because when you are your best self, you can better affect everyone else. Let's just put it like that. Okay, so that was it. That was it. I didn't mean to hammer on the topic, but I just wanted you to know that there is no limitations and life comes at you as it should, I believe. And you do have the ability to affect it by thinking ahead and, yes, definitely knowing yourself and knowing what it is that you want and outside of what society tries to put on you. So let me hush my mouth because now I'm rambling and even I get tired of when people ramble, including myself. So